Hi, my name is Mike Simmons. I advise the Tesserae Yearbook in upstate New York, and I wanted to show you the communication tool that we use in class with my yearbook staff. We've got 48 people on staff and 2 advisors, and we use Slack. It's the same communication program and app that's used by NPR and Adobe and the Condé Nast publishing house and hundreds, if not thousands of other professional organizations. But this is the way that we use it. You get started at slack.com, and when you set up your workspace, you set up a subdomain that goes before the Slack in the URL. So you can see over here we are tesseraeybk.slack.com. And once you've set up an account in a workspace and you have students sign in with an account and then register to your workspace, they would come here and find your Slack workspace once they've created an account with Slack, which is free at one level. Then you're left with channels, and the channels you can see over here on the left-hand side. You start, I think, with a default of general. This was 2 years ago for us, so I'm a little rusty. But if you start with general, then you can populate other sub-channels that correspond to events that you've got or needs that you have. So I had my business staff a little while ago. When we traveled to CSPA in March or Dallas last November, I had sub-channels for those conversations as well. I've got some students on my staff who are working on the New Voices campaign for New York, so we've got it here. We recently came off of proofs, so I had a subset of my staff working through proofs. Actually, that was here on volume 4. My leadership team, which is my editors plus some team leaders, just my editors, are down here. I've got a subgroup of students who mentor elementary school students of mine for a yearbook that they help create at the elementary school level. But back to general, the basic functioning is really straightforward. You can type messages. I could say good morning and then at everyone, and that notifies everybody. I hope you're having a good day. Doing a demo of Slack right now. So I hit enter on that, and then I send it now. With that at everyone tag, it tags all 49 people in our organization and sends them an alert notification that it came through. Now, people can mute channels, and like our music channel was a place where people would make music recommendations. The random channel is a place where the kids will congratulate each other on things. Our Winter Guard won state championship, so there were some congratulations in there. Happy birthdays come up there all the time. I think today it's Ken's birthday on our staff, so there's some birthday greetings there for him. But anyhow, in general, sorry, that's our 10-minute bell. In general, the channel general, that's where most of our communication happens. You can see that a couple days ago, Jen Hill, one of my business managers, posted a sign-up link to our flower fundraising sale that we do a couple weeks from now. And then 3 kids signed up in like the first 30 seconds, so I gave them a little bit of a shout out. I posted a PDF here of end of the year dates that people need to be concerned with, and then another shout to students who were mentoring the elementary school kids. Pretty basic stuff here. Asked my freshmen, sophomores, and juniors to let me know if they're returning the staff next year. It's been a lot of announcements this week. If I scroll back, I can find, like this was my EI3 in San Francisco last weekend. They posted a photo about their pacemaker finalist. This was documentation on what we need from people on proofs and posting proof organizing content. Hey, who's this person in the middle, for captions, things like that. Announcements, the lab is open after school till 6. All sorts of just back and forth kind of daily communication. Now, the nice thing about this is that the way that Slack works, let me scroll back up, you can react to messages, and it doesn't cause a notification. So when I said freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, please reply to this, I had 7 of them, these students right here, give me a thumbs up. And then one of my seniors, one of my EICs, isn't coming back to staff next year because she's graduating, so she gave me a frowny face. But like I could add a reaction. I wouldn't do this, but I could add a reaction, a chocolate chip cookie to my own announcement. And then I said, thanks everyone for everybody who replied, appreciate it. And then some of the kids got back to me that they saw that message. So it's just a good communication economy to acknowledge that messages were received. It doesn't take a lot to just drop one of those emojis in. You can see yesterday we were trying to identify these two girls for captions. So we did a little screenshot there. I think it's Caitlin. Yeah, that is. Yeah, it's Caitlin. You know, that kind of thing. Then yesterday we were doing a little bit of a copy workshop because my kids were not doing great with their captions, so we're doing a little refresher. And coming on the end of me posting this file, these kids commented their work back to me, right? So this is a document. I should be able to open this. Yeah, so this is her 3 captions in a response to my post. So you can see right here it has 13 comments on it. And a comment is different than a reply. I think when the comments come in, it does not alert other students' phones, which is great. It's just a kind of a quiet comment back. You can see I got all these replies yesterday. And then I said, good morning, everyone. And who got me? Megan. That's one of my EICs. So she said, good morning there. So you can see that reaction piece is helpful. Down here, I've got the hashtag channels are open public channels to everyone. The lockdown channels are private to a subset. I can set as an admin who is in those channels. There are channels that I am not part of. That one of my coverage teams, for instance, might set up their own channel to communicate in the background that I'm not part of, which is totally fine. And then, like I can show you direct messages with students. My student Ariana is starting a recruitment video for us for the program, and she was wondering what kind of interview questions she should be asking, what kind of music she wanted. She posted me an idea, and her teammates like that, and I said, yep, I'm good with that. So just a back channel communication there. It's pretty straightforward stuff. You can do it with groups of people. I've got 2 girls working on a New Voices article and for Teen Vogue, and they were acknowledging that they've started that. So it's an absolutely phenomenal tool for communication. You can post links and Google Docs and things too. You can see they throughput just like this. But one of the most powerful uses for us is in our photos channel. So you can see here there's an app integration between Google Calendar and Slack where we have an automated bot that at 10 o'clock every day, 10 a.m. every day, our calendar talks to Slack and posts an announcement about what's up for that afternoon. It's a Slack integration. You can just Google integrate Slack, Google Calendar, and then it'll take you right through it. I never remember how to do it. You just, visit the Google Calendar app page, and this is where I start every time because you set it up once and you're good to go. But what happens is, here's our Google Calendar, and we've got a master calendar for kind of big staff events, and then a shooting calendar, our red calendar here. So you can see here we are on the 19th, and we've got 4 events later on today. When we're in month view, you just kind of see where they hit. But if I go to schedule view, here, they used to call it agenda view. We picked up on a really cool hack a couple of years ago where let me get to the current, let's get to today, there we go. On an event, if you have students put their name in the where field, so go here, go to edit. So right here, Mr. Simmons example in the where field for a particular event, when you hit save, you can see that these by default would say the event and where it's being held, but with our hack, it's the event and who's shooting it, which has been absolutely fantastic. And then when Slack reports out the event, you can see right here, we get those names parked right next to it. So just at a glance, my photo editor and I, or our other editors, can tell if there's anything that's got a blank next to it, we're in rough shape and that we don't have somebody signed up. So tomorrow for our JV lacrosse, we're going to have to deal with that today in class right here in the calendar. But again, on the API with Google Calendar talking to Slack, we get these updates all the way through. I think I've also set it up to do Sunday. Yeah, look at this. So At Sunday at 9 o'clock at night, it gives us the whole rundown of the week and parks it right there for us. And everybody gets that alert if they've got their photo notifications turned on. And it's a really nice, just week at a glance look at what's coming up, and you can see where the holes are for our shooting. But we're in really, really nice shape there. The other thing that we did was throughput the master calendar to our editors channel. And this is mostly like birthdays or deadlines and stuff like that. You can see it's mostly birthdays here on editor channel, and there would be other editor chat. We're kind of winding down right now, so we haven't had many frontline conversations in a little bit, what with San Francisco and finishing the book. But the master calendar reports out here too, which is very, very helpful. So that's a whirlwind look at how we use Slack. Hopefully you found it useful. If you have any questions, you can email me at iteachyearbook@gmail.com. And I'd be happy to share more. It's a phenomenal tool. I like it far better than Remind and GroupMe, and way, way better than group texting. Those tools still have their place, but what this has given us in the last 2 years for organization and communication is really just been phenomenal. Again, Mike Simmons at Tesserae, upstate New York. I teach yearbook@gmail.com. Be in touch.